Chat. It's time for some discourse. And the discourse of the day is, of course, slurs. And how the whites, myself included, are a downtrodden group of survivors. All right? Now, look, okay, the C word, a word that I would normally say just fine. It's my word. I could say it. It's not a big deal. It's not one. It isn't a big deal. It is a slur. It's a slur. That's fine. But, like, here's what you do when you say, like, oh, we're banning this word that's pretty benign. No one's ever been hurt by being called it. None of them. Right? The free speech warriors want this word banned, which is fucking wild to me. Wild to me. They want this. Free speech warriors out here being like, yeah, ban that shit. Nope. It's not the, I don't even know if I could say that one. But I love that one. Not the Australian C word, not the English C word. The C word for us white folks. You know what I mean? You know the one. Salty, crispy, 9 holes. Yeah. Anyway, so what you'll be seeing is center left liberals, and you'll see some right wingers and stuff like that. There's been one in chat already. You know what I mean? Been one in chat already tonight. Who's like, I just don't, it's a slur. I don't know why you guys want to say slurs so much. And it's like, okay, can we contextualize language a little bit in America? Can we do that just a tiny bit? And in the whole world. Not just America, but the whole world. Like, can we fucking, like, you know what you're doing. You know that you're pretending to feign outrage. You know you are. And so people like Hasan and Vaush, we're sitting there, like, laughing about this, rightfully so, and then got indefinitely banned. I think Hasan's is 7 days, and Vaush's on Twitch is indefinitely banned. Wild shit. AKA Penn, thanks for following. Nope, you can't say that. People just want to say the N-word. Look, there are things that are slurs that aren't a big deal. And then there are, like, there's tiers of slurs. We all know what S plus is. Okay? We know what the S plus slur is. The only slur in the world that you just really can't. Now, there's S tier slurs. There's some other ones. Some for Jewish people come to mind. There's some for, other folks. Right? A lot of those, not good ones. Then there's the A tier. You're starting to get down into, like, sort of silly stuff. But, you probably shouldn't still say it, I'd say some of the stuff for the racist shit people say about Mexicans in America definitely falls into the A, S tier. Somewhere in there, depends on what it is. You know what I mean? Arabs. Like people from India or South Asia. Or anything. Like, really all the other slurs that you can think of. And then there's, like, below A tier. The word we're talking about here, C, D tier, it doesn't hurt anybody. It is a slur. It is one. But so are lots of things. A great example is the K slur that you can't say, I guess, about children. Or, ladies that act like children. Like a white lady is in a park walking her dog, minding her own business, and also a black person is doing that, minding their own business, and then she calls the cops on them. You know the word. Can't say that. That's in the D tier as well. Like, can we understand that not everything is, like, 100% as bad as everything else? Because that's what you're doing with this discourse, is you are trying to rise the different slurs, the different baby tier slurs. You're trying to make them rise to the level of the most disgusting slur in American history, right? Tasha, thanks so much for the 34 months. They're not all just words. They're not all just words. That's the thing. We can acknowledge that little ones are slurs. Yeah, it's a slur. Shouldn't say slurs in general? Sure. Space Ozzy, if you want to clutch your pearls like that. Sure. Okay? This is what I'm talking about. Don't pretend it's as bad. It isn't. You're very comfortable saying one of them. You're not comfortable saying the others. There's a reason. It's pretty obvious. Is it a slur? Sure. Fine. So are lots of things. Calling someone like any derogatory term is kind of a slur. Especially if it has any sort of like connotations. But like, come on. Get your shit together. Stop pretending. Stop pretending that you're this like fucking fragile little breakable piece of garbage. Like this is like in 2016 versions of you dumbasses. Like all the people that are clutching their pearls over this, all the people that are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you'd say a slur." We just shouldn't say any slurs. That's my take. Sure. That's fine, but you have that same energy everywhere else. You don't. You don't fucking have that same energy anywhere else. You kidding me? This is the same fucking people that went into the N-word discourse and were like, it's fine if you say it at home without anybody around. You know what I mean? Shut up. Just shut up. You know what you're doing. You know for a fact you're being disingenuous. And if you feel like you're actually genuinely like, we shouldn't say any slurs at any level, at best, you've talked yourself into that position. At best. It was a joke until it wasn't. Because then you started being able to argue with leftists or something and being like, I'm big smart. I'm gonna walk them into a corner with my debate skills and be like, so you like saying slurs? Yes, some of us like saying some slurs. Everybody likes saying some slurs because not all slurs are made equal. Some slurs are like, hey, dumbass. You know what I mean? You don't like saying dumbass? Fuckface. I don't know. There's lots of things you could call people. You know what I mean? Not everything's fucking taboo. There's some reasons culturally that things are bad and other things are not. It's not a big deal. Like, stop pretending, stop moralizing. Seriously. Like, this is some bitch-ass behavior. I'm going to say it. Seriously. Straight up bitch-ass behavior. Like, you're co-opting on purpose, likely, co-opting the conversation about marginalized groups and the language we use at them to be like, well, I'm not marginalized, but this is a slur, so I'm going to say that it's just as bad. And what you do is you're trying to delegitimize the complaints of the legitimate complaints by the LGBTQ plus community. Any sort of minority group from a racial perspective. You know what I mean? Like, you're just delegitimizing that on purpose. You're a shitty person. Because you're trying to make... And I mean, this is just, like, the slippery slope of this is ridiculous. Like, if you don't want any slurs being said, like, you guys just gotta shut the fuck up in general. You know what I mean? You just have to shut the fuck up in general. Is that what you want? To just shut the fuck up in general? Because I would love that for lots of you. Like, it's a good look for lots of people. It's like all lives matter debate, but dumber. It really is all lives matter just resurfaced. It really is. It's the iPhone X of discourse. It's just the next fucking... Get banned for calling them saltines? Yeah, they did. Yeah. All slurs matter. Like, fucking get out of here, dude. Stop pretending that there's harm in this. There isn't. There isn't harm in it. There's harm in some words. Yeah, this isn't one of them. Absolutely. Now, does that mean that I want you going around and calling every white person you see a 9-hold, crispy, delicious, buttery wafer from Ritz? No, I don't. I don't want that. No one is advocating for that. You maybe some people because of jokes, but like, no. Of course not. And no one did before. No one did that before. Not a big deal. Not a thing. Did you know? Hey, shocker. I'm white. Yeah. I'm a white guy. Don't give a fuck. It's not a big deal. Okay? And it's not just like, well, some black people don't care if you say the N-word. It's like, come on, dude. Come on. You know the difference. One is systemic oppression and the culmination of hundreds of years of chattel slavery, inhumane treatment, barbarism, violence, subjugation. And the other one is a title granted to those people that did those things. Like, what? How are you this way? Like, if you are one of these people that genuinely believes this, you're fucking sad, dude. You're a depressing individual. You should just stop it. You should simply end your participation with other humans. There's no reason to carry forward and talk to anybody else. Just become a hermit. You're pointless. And we really know what this is, right? We know what this really is. It's certain communities here on Twitch. Certain communities. Flailing wildly at their betters. That's really what it is. Yeah, absolutely, Gimpy. I agree. That's what I mean. You could say it was their destiny to do this. It might have been. They were always going to do this. It was their destiny. That's true. Like, I mean, you know what you're doing. It's just wild stuff. Like, it makes so much sense to be like, look, maybe we shouldn't say hardcore racial slurs that have connotations towards a violent and disgusting history, right? And there's something to be said. Yeah, but what about the retaliation of that? Can we say that word? No, that's banned. Like, fuck off. Was there more than one community? Oh, sure. There's some other communities that glommed. You know how it works. The Orbiter crew. You saw some of them in chat earlier. The Orbiters. Yeah. Ridiculous. I feel like the slur doesn't work when there's no power behind it to impact my life. Exactly. Right? Yeah. And sadly, there is power behind some slurs still. This one. Come on. Like, stop pretending. I'm okay with banning flat-out hate speech and harassment, but it should just be based on what makes people feel bad. I think there's some degree of that, sure. Yeah. I guess it depends on what it is, but yeah. I think we can see it, though. We can understand what it is. And I don't think Vaush or Hasan jokingly, just making jokes about it. Come on. It's not directed hate. It's fucking stupid. It's really fucking stupid. Would you take a leftist Al? I don't know the things. That XY girl, thanks so much for the 15 months. So anyway, if you're one of these douchebags that goes, we just shouldn't, say any slurs at all. It's like, come on, that's not what the conversation is. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. You know what you're doing. Stop pretending. Yakubian white devil? What does that even mean? Are you okay with racial slurs? Okay. We're gonna do this together, okay? Are you ready? Racial slurs, okay, are not all made equal. And that's it. That's the whole thing. Am I okay with them? Some of them. They're not all made equal. Stop pretending they are. There's a reason you'll say one slur and not the other. Now, we're not going to say any of them today because of Twitch. and how you people fucking act about it. But, like, stop pretending that they're all made... Because that question, that literal question, are you okay with racial slurs? That question intentionally frames all of them to the same social level, which is clearly untrue. Clearly. I don't follow Destiny on Twitter. He has me blocked. But, yeah, I'm not surprised if he actually said it. What do you mean, you people? Oh, you fucking people. That's what I mean. You stop beating... Exactly. It's just so stupid. Like, the framing is just terrible. Absolutely stupid. Sarson making points. Good ones.
Maizelbub.
X-Line TV, thanks for the 29 months. It's a lot of months. If it was that bad, Ritz and Saltine would change their name. That's true.
Her ramble was just a gorilla.
Yes, thanks for following. People really call white people colonizers? Yeah, they are colonizers. Right? See, that's the thing. Like, colonizing happened, right? I descend from colonizers, and that's okay. Am I a colonizer? No. This was a conversation I had to have last night during a gaming stream that none of you show up to because you don't support me when I have fun. You only support me when I'm sad. Which is tragic, chat. The person was like, oh, it makes me feel bad when people call me a colonizer. And it's like, bro, you're crap. Thanks for the 7 months. It's like, how can you pretend to be one of these fucking, like, edgy boys on the center left or right? Where you're just like, you know, stop worrying about your genders so much, leftist weirdos. Meanwhile, if someone calls me a colonizer, I'm going to weep and shit all over myself. The fuck is wrong with you? Show up for Christmas days? You better show up for Christmas days. It's good shit. Like, why are you pretending to harbor white guilt? You know what I mean? Because that's really what it is. When you get upset about being called a colonizer. You know what I mean? Ginger Phoenix, thanks so much for the prime. You're just pretending to feel white guilt for, like, political points or something? Like, I really don't know. Hey, Mr. Scaramanga! Thanks for the $5 reduce. Appreciate it. It just doesn't make any sense. It's oppression point. It really is. Do you call your white friends colonizers or just white people you don't really like? I don't call anyone colonizers, like, as a pejorative. Like, oh, shut up, colonizer. Because I'm one. It would just be me. Like, I'm not absolved of it. Usually you say it's usually when, and I know, plus, you're not asking this in good faith, most likely, because the way you asked that question was just, like, so fucking defensive and corny and like, it was real beta behavior, in my honest opinion. But, like, colonizer, when people bring up colonizers in a conversation, right? They're talking about specific, like, systemic issues that arise from it usually. Or the behavior that someone is exhibiting is, like, the same mindset of a colonizer. Like saying that, like, oh, land back is stupid. Colonizer behavior. You know what I mean? Like, it is different. And I really don't know why you pretend that it's the same thing all the time. Other than you feel like there was a period of time where you people that are fucking upset about this, there was a period of time when you would say, like, people on the left do things for attention. You know what I'm talking about. Do it for attention. And now you're doing it for attention. You're literally bringing up non-issues, trying to make these non-issues rise to the level of actual issues in marginalized communities. You're trying to co-opt this because you get uncomfortable when we're not about you for a little bit. The conversation isn't centered around you. It's centered around everybody else, finally, in the history of America and Western world. We're finally centering the conversation around people who haven't been considered for some time. And now it's just like you can't fucking handle it. Seem like a male version of Bad Bunny? I mean, cool, man, I guess. Or plush. Maybe you don't have any counter arguments to what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Maybe what I said was just a little bit too smart for you. Which is wild because it wasn't that smart. Much like the saltine slur, it was a D-tier smart boy thing that I said. It wasn't even that smart. It's not hard to get around this concept. I'm not big braining you right now, dog. You're just dumb. Like, what the fuck? Ridiculous. Like, why try to rise your oppression to the levels of people that have experienced actual oppression? Yeah, it could be not nice to say you're a colonizer in certain situations. It could be not nice to say, hey, you resemble a Ritz cracker. Right? You resemble one. You know what I mean? That could be not nice. You know what I mean? But, like, no one's advocating for just, like, calling people, like, don't get me wrong. If white people were only, like, it just became socially normal to dismiss their ideas, like, and not as a joke where the people go, oh, you're white, plus you're white. Like, that's a joke, right? But if people like, literally, like, started saying, like, hey, dude, you're a fucking saltine. Not gonna listen to you. And it's just like, shut up, saltine. And then they started saying, like, hey, no saltines allowed in the restaurant. You know what I mean? I think then, sure, yeah. Obviously, that's actual oppression. It's not what's happening. That's not what is occurring. Like, it's not happening. That's not the situation. And then the saltines couldn't vote, and you stopped allowing saltines to marry non-saltines. And you didn't allow saltines to have different positions around the country. And you thought that saltines' IQs were inherently lower, and they were more prone to violence. You know what I mean? Saltines have been historically... This is what I'm talking about. By the way, saltines not the best version of that food. Can't even say the food. Can't even say the fucking food right now. Because they're just vibrating with hope that they could just try to power ban people. Like, just be honest about it. Have the balls, have the spine to be honest about why you're saying stuff like this. Right? And it's because you're butthurt that the left wins these arguments all the fucking time because we're right about it. You're just upset. It's literally just going... You're in your brain, you go, ooh, we get banned for saying slurs. Well, let's ban them for saying slurs that are benign and no one cares about. And fight fire with fire, bro. This is baby brain behavior. How about, hear me out, how about be smart enough, be clever enough, and have good enough ideas to just be more correct than we are? But... shockingly, over and over, you resort to shit like this. Disingenuous, dog water attacks on people for reasons that you don't have actual conviction for. It's just spite politics, which I'm not surprised. It was your destiny to end up at spite politics, wasn't it? You dumb losers. Trey McGee, thanks for the 200 biddies. Curious about your take on Drag Race casting their first cishet male competitor. What do you mean Drag Race casting their first cishet male? Wait, has Drag Race never had a cishet individual on there? Drag queens aren't always... What? Drag queens aren't always trans or gay. They're often cishet. What? What do you mean? Rice Krispies. Fuck. That's amazing. Yeah, I'd be very surprised there wasn't any straight people in there. Huh. Can't even talk about my favorite drug without fear of Twitch bringing down the hammer? What's your favorite drug? Where is this conversation happening? It's not. That's what I'm saying. It isn't happening. It's an astroturfed, fake, spite politics thing made by a single community, well, multiple communities, but really the ringleader is one of them, right? Just to try to get people that makes this individual feel small, like a tiny little man. Hasan and Vaush. Strange. Those two happened. Odd. Wouldn't be surprised if we're targeted next. Meek, thanks for the 50 biddies. I just joined. Did you go over the John Doyle suit? No, I haven't. Ashley Boo, thanks for the 50 biddies. There are real problems with dumbass saltines. Yeah. I mean, it's really a non-issue. That's fucked up, Netcirc. Poggasm, thanks for the follow, dude. Like your name. Do you enjoy them in soup and or chili? You know what I mean? Wink, wink. I do. Dude, the oysters? Holy shit. Oyster Seas, baby? So good, dude. I got boxes of Oyster Seas. How does it feel to be the top edgy leftist? Am I edgy? Do people consider me edgy? I definitely used to be edgy, boy. Dude, they go crazy? Dude, that's a great way to describe those. Oyster Seas are underrated. Why are they so good, dude? Something about them, man. They're cracked. You're a bit softer on the edge than the edgy boy. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Vaush is edgier than I am. Definitely. Not milk toast? Oh, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. I'm still standing. I am pretty chill. Usually. You have weird but fun uncle energy. That's exactly the case. Yeah. I think I agree with that. I'm definitely a weird but fun uncle. People just need to learn to ignore their destiny. The destiny barely has any power in the universe if you don't acknowledge it. That's true. That's true. Jake is the biggest lefty streamer on Twitch by volume, or anyway. That's the take. That's the take on the discourse that's actually happening organically that we should really care about. The organic discourse that has happened, that has occurred. Fucking dummies. Yeah, but I was actually, that wasn't a slur though, Brooke. That was just me saying the actual